Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 201, Diabology, or Diabology, whichever you prefer. Link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. It's about 170 pages, so it's fairly long. Second and third links are to my books blogs. You can find other similar works as well. This goes under the Demonology header, although it's technically an academic work. Now, quick aside. I removed some of the footnotes that were in the initial work. It was very footnote heavy, some of them more than half a page in total size. The reason why is that a lot of it was just Greek or German that reiterated what was already quoted. Like it was the initial in same language pre-translation sort of footnotes, but that's not really necessary because it's saying the same thing. I did retain, however, the Latin, because the Latin's more interesting. It's like, you know, it looks cool. Within the context of demonology, I decided not to fool with the Latin in case I erase some important invocation. I'm just joking. Very good book. It's broken up into multiple sections, and it talks about, for instance, the nature of God and Satan, the nature of angels and demons, the nature of good and evil in its most ultimate sense. It also goes a little bit into linguistics, talking about the difference between some of the terminology used within a biblical context for the abstract idea of evil, or Satan-ness, you could call it, and the more literal, the more personified term, the devil. A demon or something like that, and that these terms are sometimes mistranslated a little bit. We of course now recognize it. Now this is from a Catholic perspective, this is a Christian work, but it's an interesting work of demonology. I mean, it points to hundreds of passages within the Bible. It talks about Aquinas, some of the things that he said, multiple different experts at the time and within antiquity, with regards to their opinions on these issues. And I've always been interested in demonology above most other sort of subfields within the occult. I realize this isn't so much a hands-on how-to guide of summoning demons or something, but it talks about some of the more major figures, like the idea of Beelzebub, the idea of Satan. It talks about, you know, the fall of Lucifer, and also a little bit deeper than a lot of works go into within the nature of this particular being. For instance, it talks at great length, like about 10 pages of this entire book is dedicated just towards the idea of determining whether this figure was pre-existently evil or made some sort of choice to be evil. It talks about sort of an angelic probationary period wherein the angel sort of either can permanently ascend out of all temptation or become fallen in some way. So it's an interesting work altogether. Again, it's a little bit dense. It's definitely an academic work, but it's also a fairly good overview of demonology. If you're interested in sort of the God, Satan, angel, demon sort of discourse within Christendom, this is definitely one of the works that you would want to read, along with like King James Demonology, which is a little bit more fantastical and out there. Some of the, what's the name of that other work? Demonolatry. I think there are about 20 different works of demonology at this point that I've edited. It's actually quite a large collection. I've got 2 or 3 more actually to do after this. Like there's the Devils of Loden, and there are a couple of works. There's a book by Eves actually called Modern Vampirism that's a little bit more about demons than vampires in the blood-sucking sense. Some of these works are very, very odd. I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty with regards to some of the lesser-known works, but I'm just going to plow through them. I'm doing a little bit more slowly now, although I did knock 2 additional short works out of the way in just a few short days. I sort of got cabin fever. I'm looking outside. Here it is, it's March. It's still in the 20s. It's supposed to be like 40 degrees right now. Things are supposed to be thawing. It's not thawing. I've got to wait at least another 10 days before we get to the point where it's even average temperatures. I'm getting fucking tired of it, so I'm just going to sit there and edit. And in all honesty, what else am I going to do? Sit there and drink myself into a coma, I guess. So again, link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon, second and third links to my books blogs. There is a demonology section on both. If you're interested in the topic, there's plenty of works there for you. That's about all. Peace out.